Alright, so this is where I just ended up. I don't know where it's at, but it's somewhere in Tiburon, by Sausalito, I think. Okay, people, I am crossing the Bay Bridge right now. So much traffic, ridiculous. Anyways, I went from Dublin to Livermore to Castro Valley, up in the mountains. I've been everywhere already. It's been crazy. I took a wrong turn earlier and I ended up somewhere in the woods. It was crazy. I kind of got scared, so I had to reverse my way out and find a little road to back out of there and find my way out. So, making my way into San Francisco. I only come out to the city and work the city usually when he works the city. I feel a lot more comfortable when he's out here. Because if something ever happens to my car, or, you know, if I'm in a situation where, you know, just anything, I know that my husband's out here. And I know that he's close by, or at least in the vicinity of the Bay Area, that I can always call him. And there's been those moments where we kind of like around the same time meet and we have dinner and then we'll get back to working. Yep.
So, having gastric sleeve and Uber, by the way, we're Uber drivers too. So we always find a way to meet up because my wife Uber drives also.
Alright, so this is where I just ended up. I don't know where it's at, but it's somewhere in Tiburon, by Sausalito, I think. It's beautiful out here, that's all I know. But it's far away from the city. You can see the Bay Bridge. But anyways, I wanted to get off and just take video of that.
So Ubering in the Bay Area can be challenging. There's city after city after city. It's a little bit challenged to have a gastric sleeve and find places to eat. Everything around here is fast food. There's not really anywhere to park. But in San Francisco, there's always a Safeway, and when there's a Safeway, obviously, there's, you know, you could grab some fruit, and they have a deli. So we always try to get some of the baked chicken. My wife and I Uber, and we try to sometimes meet. It's really hard because the Bay Area there's millions of people. You could, like I said earlier, you could drive for an hour and a half and just be going through city after city after city. I started earlier in Oakland, just driving through the city of Oakland, and eventually at night I make my way out to San Francisco. We found each other. So I'm doing video for our thing. Here she is. Look how tired she looks.
Hi, everyone.
But I got her wings and strawberries. You can probably drive for an hour and a half of city after city after city after city. So we kind of try to connect for dinner and try to kind of keep, I guess we keep tabs on each other where we're at, right?
Yes.
And where we're at. So this is one of our little spots. Look, it's Safeway. So you can't really get fast food. I mean, you
I
can.
got lost in the forest.
In the forest.
Yeah, some lady took me up all the way into these hills.
Oh.
And I took the wrong turn. I ended up in the forest, but there was no way of making a U-turn, so I ended up having to reverse. I was like, what?
Yeah, we just finished our dinner.
I had chicken wings.
Yeah. How many did you eat?
I had 2 chicken wings.
2? What I have, like 4?
Yeah. And I had 1 strawberry.
It is challenging having the sleeve and finding places to eat, especially in the beginning. If those of you watching this have just got it, and it's really hard for you to find food to hold down, and then you do eat and your stomach hurts. Your stomach hurts actually right now, huh?
Mm-hmm. A lot.
Share about that, because some people might watch this and they might think they're the only ones going through it.
Yeah, you know, ever since I've had my surgery, I can't tolerate like meats or poultry very easy, or certain things. Like every time I eat, my stomach hurts, you know, and I've had a really, really hard time holding food down, so I eat very tiny portions.
Sometimes it's easier, huh? Some things, and even some days.
Yeah, and some days. But the thing is that I have to eat very, very small portions. Like, I'll eat 2 spoons of something, and that'll be enough for me. And then an hour later, I'll eat 2 more spoons of that same thing. So it'll be more consistent, but it'll be 1 or 2 spoons of that thing. So I can't have like half a meal. Like some people will be like, okay, well, 1/4 of something or 1/3 of something, or very small portions. For me, it's like 1 spoon of it every few minutes or every half hour. So I got to break something down like throughout a very lengthy time. So, and it does hurt. It kind of hurts almost like an ulcer in a sense, or it kind of feels like it gets stuck in my chest. So that's been an issue that I've been having, and it's just something that I've had to deal with.
I think another thing people don't talk about, and maybe doctors don't talk about, is, like for me, I think I went pretty smooth in being able to eat. You know, I mean, of course, at first things hurt at first. Even now, I get the slimes. People don't tell you about the slimes. I think we got to do a whole video about slimes. I don't want to talk about it right now, because I want to talk about your situation.
Well, it kind of actually.
Yeah.
It kind of actually feels good to slime after a while.
Okay.
Though.
Well, don't stop the video. We're gonna talk about slimes. So you're gonna miss it. But I want to talk about first. People don't talk about it, okay? And the doctors don't talk about it. But sometimes, like, how long has it been? 8 months for you?
Yeah, it has.
They tell you to eat, you know, protein and meat, but what happens when the things they tell you to eat,
you can't eat? You
can't eat, but you are starving. So there's times when you have had to eat snacks, because you were hungry, and it's the only thing that goes down.
Yeah.
And I know, you know, it's like, oh, you know, you're eating carbs, you're eating this, you're eating that. But if you were hungry and the things you're supposed to eat hurt you, you got to eat.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, there's things that have sustained us.
Even the protein shakes that they've told, you know, they tell you, well, at least if you can't take down the meat and you can't, I couldn't even drink protein shakes, because the protein shakes were so heavy that it was just like, it felt like it filled me up so badly that I'd just go straight to vomit it. And it it just felt like clumps and clumps of, and it just was gross. So it's heavy on my stomach. It felt like heavy cream. So even that kind of stuff was really hard, you know. So you get to a point where you kind of start living off of vitamins, and you start learning what things you can do. So I started doing like the Cliff bars, like the protein bars, and certain things that you can do, or maybe a little bit of tuna, a certain way, and even that started to get a little heavy. But you start to learn the little things that you can have that does have protein.
I mean, for me, one of the things once I passed the stages, because I followed it as. Actually, I followed it. I didn't.
Yeah,
eat,
you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
You know, the liquid stage,
well.
the second stage, the third stage. But once I could eat, there was things that wouldn't hold, things were hold, but I'd get the slimes. And I found out like Pringles helped me. And I know that's like against everything, but hey man, it held down. It held down, you know, and then after a while, then now I can eat a small burger or salmon or shrimp, but that really was a lifesaver for me. But anyway, slimes. Okay guys, slimes is basically this clear mucus. This is what's happening, right? Because I started like feeling like I had a vomit, and after I ate, but food wouldn't come out. And it would be like this clear stuff. And for a minute, I thought like I was an X-Men. And that was like a special power. Because it was weird, because all this clear stuff would come out. And I thought, oh my God, I'm a superhero and I'm going to slime people.
Oh, my Wolverine.
So what happens is, because your stomach is so small, this is what I heard. Because your stomach is so small, it no longer has enough stomach acid to break your food down. So when you eat, in a sense, your body freaks out because it doesn't know how it's going to break this down. There's no stomach acid in your little tiny stomach. So your body starts to produce this mucus to help it pass through. So if you ate to the full of your little belly, and all of a sudden your body starts producing all this mucus to push it down, there's no room for it. So therefore you go to throw up and no food comes out. It's all this slimy stuff. Oh man, it's crazy. That still happens. I'm 11 months out. It's happening less and less often, but it happens. So if that's happening to you and you're freaking out, you're like, why am I eating? And then I go to throw up and a bunch of clear stuff comes out. You're not an X-Men. You're not a mutant. You're just sliming. Your stomach is trying to produce something to have that food pass through. And if you're eating too much, there's no room for it. So it comes up.
And it does feel relieving, though. It does feel good after, because you just feel like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And you know what, you guys, when you feel that, don't eat until you're full.
Yeah.
Just when you feel just somewhat satisfied, stop. When I eat till I'm full is when I'm gonna get sick. And I've learned to not do that anymore. So now what I do is I eat my 2 spoons because I know that that's what I'm gonna be able to tolerate, and I'll come back and revisit in about half an hour or something, and then I'll eat a little bit more, because I know that I need it to sustain myself. If I'm going to go out somewhere, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to serve myself very small portions of something, 2 little spoons of each little thing, because I want to try it. I want to taste it. You know, enough just so I don't look funny to people. So my plate looks like it does have color onto it or something, but I'm going to taste things. So be real with yourself. Don't overdo it. Because you're going to make yourself sick, and it doesn't feel good when you have to be running out into the restroom and you have to run to the side of the building, or because that has happened to us.
Oh yeah.
And I do notice that too. When your stomach does hurt, immediately.
Yours?
Yeah, when my stomach does hurt immediately, it's because I know that I shouldn't be eating that.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of stuff we shouldn't be eating.
Yeah. So it's getting late. So
I know we got to get back to work.
So my dinner was 4 wings and I think 3 strawberries. That
baked wings, by the way.
Yeah, and that filled me up. So yeah.
And mine was 2 wings and 1 strawberry.
Yeah.
But you know what, you guys? Mine was a strawberry this big. This is a really big strawberry. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's a big strawberry. So, I mean, our stomach is almost, what, 2 sizes of this strawberry almost?
I don't know.
Because this is almost the size of an egg almost.